Hi guys, welcome to Life Tips with Lucy. So this video is video number 3 in our series talking about Karen Purvis's main concepts in helping broken children and especially broken teens be able to be functional and healthy adults. And I'll probably do more videos about the stuff that she teaches, but this series is focused on the 4 things that she believes that teens need in order to be successful adults. So we might have this big list of things that they need, but she boils it down to these 4 things. And these 4 things are being able to give and receive nurture, and having a strong sense of autonomy and my individuality and who I am, and also being able to negotiate your needs. So we've already talked about autonomy, and we've already talked about giving and receiving nurture. So this video is focusing on negotiating our needs, and why is that important, what does that mean, and some examples of that. So negotiating our needs is obviously important because we all need to have our needs met to be functional, healthy, happy human beings in one way or another. So when we are able to have good skills in negotiating our needs, it helps us to have more successful relationships, be able to have closer, deeper connections in our friendships, and be able to be successful adults just in our lives and in our jobs, and feel like that we are powerful, unique, important individuals. So what negotiating your needs is not having someone else make all your decisions for you, or being passive and always saying that you don't care about anything, or being super aggressive. It's none of those 3 things. So if you are being, really passive and never really saying, giving yourself a voice or saying anything that you want or need, then you're not giving the other people around you an opportunity to be able to fill your need and to be able to build relationship. Like, you can't really build relationship unless you have this exchange of a need is expressed and a need is filled. So that's Karen Purvis's basic thing in her whole teachings about how to help broken kids, is building these trust-based relationships. So you can't build a trust-based relationship unless a need is expressed and then filled. So I actually have an interesting experience with this one. I lived with some relatives when I was first out of college and stuff, and when I'd first gotten a job, and mostly it was great, but I was kind of passive because I don't like conflict. Well, I wouldn't say my natural personality is very conflict aversive, but growing up, our environment was kind of conflict aversive in some ways. Anyway, so because I was trying to avoid conflict with them, I would never really voice my opinions. I want this or I want that, or no thank you, and I was just kind of passive with it, like, oh, well, I don't know. And so because I would never really make my need known and it could be met, it was frustrating to them because they felt like I was stuck up or something because I wouldn't communicate with them or really be much with them. And I didn't feel like that. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, I'm not going to hang out with them because they're not cool. Like, that's not how I felt at all. Like, I felt like I'm just kind of trying to protect myself and stay in my own little world so that I stay out of trouble because I don't want any conflict. But basically, me, like, kind of closing myself off like that made it to where, like, a relationship couldn't really be built. Like, there was no opportunity for a trust-based relationship to be built because I wasn't really expressing my honest opinions because I was so afraid of conflict. And so needs couldn't be really met back and forth. So anyway, that's just an interesting example on that one. Also being, too aggressive. If you're so aggressive and pushing your way over everyone else's around you, then obviously, you're not hearing them either. I think I was kind of like that when I was younger because I was the oldest and I could probably make things happen the way I wanted to. a lot of the time. So anyway, I was probably, was not very considerate of my siblings sometimes, and being on the aggressive side. So being in the middle is being able to present yourself how you think and feel without being really aggressive, that it has to be this way, and without, not expressing yourself at all because you're afraid of conflict. So it's hard for us to be in the middle, because when we're in the middle is we're in the most vulnerable place, because if you actually express your need and then your need's not met, well, then that doesn't feel very good. So, and it also is not letting someone else take responsibility for you. So, for like a parent-child relationship, if the kid gets into a bunch of trouble and then the parent is just trying to rescue them all the time, then that's the parent taking responsibility for the child's actions. And that doesn't help the negotiating your needs either. Like when you're a powerful person, you have a strong sense of autonomy and you're able to negotiate your own needs. Having your parents come in and step in to take over everything and fix everything isn't necessarily helpful in you growing that sense of, like, you need your parents there to support you and help you, but the sense that you can get through it. So the whole, purpose of these 4 things is helping, teenagers to be able to, or helping all of us get to the place that we can function very well in a close relationship with others, and that we can be productive in society. So, yeah, so we just need to be able to bring ourselves there. I guess the hardest thing is, it seems like all the things that we really need to do in relationships that are hard are things that we have to be vulnerable with. So, if I really, really want to go to the park and play tennis, and I'm just bringing myself, not being aggressive, not being passive, and just bringing my needs, then, and if you're bringing it in a calm way, then you can negotiate with other people to get whatever it is that you need. So even if you end up not going to the park and play tennis, and that's what you really want to do, being able to voice your opinion and to negotiate with someone else, well, maybe we can go to the store and then go to the park or whatever. Like, even if you don't get to do it in the end, like I said, just being able to have that voice and to be able to have the power of that negotiation is a very important tool for anyone to be able to have to be successful, and especially for kids from hard places, because they've never probably been able to do that before. They've never really had a voice that they could negotiate their needs and get their needs met. So anyway, if you have any comments or questions, just please post it below. I feel like that one was a little bit scatterbrained at the end. So anyway, but I'm sure we will have some more videos from Karen Purvis. But anyway, okay, thanks a lot.